miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Good evening, everybody. It's Mark Klein hanging out with you. We're talking to a band tonight that started in the early 70s, taking Long Island by storm. They've played and performed in venues from Westbury Music Fair to the Nassau Coliseum, opening shows for the likes of Eddie Money to Creedence Clearwater Revival to Marshall Tucker to the Allman Brothers. This week's featured artist in the studio with us right now, the Stanton Anderson Band.
Tell me what you want in the play. Feeling tired, you gotta get a little wide. Never see the light of the day. We'll play it all night if the mood is right. Need a little drink in my hand. Cause there's one for the ladies, one for the crew, one for the boys in the band. I've been talking to my lady, she says I'm going crazy. It's kinda like a job you were saying. I keep on working, the only thing I hurry is cause you go around in my brain. You never get old if you rock and roll. You stay one step ahead of the man. Cause there's one for the ladies, one for the crew, one for the boys in the band. One for the ladies, one for the crew, one for the boys in the band. Look out!
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, the Stanton Anderson Band. Mark Fowler.
Yes, sir.
Lead vocals and harp. How you doing, my man?
Hello, Mark. How are you?
It's good to see you
man.
again.
All right, buddy.
We did this about a year ago, you and me,
Yeah,
with this amazing ensemble behind you.
Awesome.
And it's good to see you again.
Good to
I
see
want to start regards to this band, the Stanton Anderson Band. Big band out in this neck of the woods. Started in the early 70s.
Yeah.
How did this band come about? You're a founding member.
Yes.
How'd you get this band started back in the early days?
Well, actually, I had moved up here from New Orleans in '72, and I was working with some guys, and one of the guys was Bobby Bradley, who was the original drummer in the band, and Larry and Bobby had a band together, and so when I moved up here, I said, let's put a band together, and it kind of started like that, and we started, learning songs in the basement, that continuation of the whole garage band thing, and
You think you guys fell in that category?
well, everybody falls into that category when they first start
In the
out,
beginning. All right.
you start learning songs that you loved from listening to records, and the next thing you know, oh God, we got to go out and play a couple of gigs, Not that you knew what a gig was at the time, but somehow you work through all that, and next thing you know, you're doing a couple of gigs, and that's really how the whole thing started. Just like every other band, really, and we stuck it out, and here we are.
We're talking about, 1972 this band began?
Around '72,
That's all right.
Larry and I started playing together, and Ricky came, a couple of years after that, and you change people. We, went through a bunch of different musicians, and like I say, the first thing that we wanted to do was just get out there and play a couple of gigs and hit some of the clubs and drink beer, meet girls, and
have a good time.
Play some songs,
Have a good time.
That's kind of how we all started,
You guys definitely fall into that category, I think.
Well, let's hope we're out of that category now, but
Well, it's good to see you guys back all these years later, my man. And I say we keep it moving.
All right.
Let's put you people back to work. We'll come
All
back
right.
and talk it up a little bit more in a bit. What are we doing next?
We're going to do something called Eyes of Jade. Y'all ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Lulu! I see this lady, make a fine and right. Said stop on by my place tonight. I give her love. She said it's nice, but she can't make me no sacrifice. She got eyes and chin and a heart of stone. Yeah, the lights are on, baby, no one's home. Got eyes and chin and a heart of stone. Oh, baby, you better look at these tears. Baby, Lord, in my soul. Baby, hey, little pity, they cracking up, cracking in New York City, girl. Give it to you, all my love and money, just so I can call you my sweet honey. Got eyes and chain and a hot stone. Yeah, the lights are on, baby, no one's home. Got eyes and chain and a hot stone. Oh, baby, look at these tears. Baby, you're my soul.
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, the Stanton Anderson Band. Nicely done, Mark. Nicely done, people. Nicely done indeed.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark, one thing I want to talk about out of the intro to the show, that whole Blues Brothers thing that we open up with every week, there's a great blues guitar thing that you hear performed by Long Island's own Scott Ross.
Yeah.
The song you just played, I think Scott Ross might have had his hand in a little bit.
Yeah, he wrote that.
He wrote that.
I think he had his hand on that one.
I know you fine-tuned it a little bit to the version we heard just now, but that originally does come from Long Island's own Scott Ross.
Yeah, yeah.
You worked with Scott back in the, what, 80s, was it?
No, yeah, in the 90s. Actually.
Late 80s, early
Scott
90s?
and I started working together, yeah, with Frank Anstis and Joe Martinez.
A little bit of a blur those days.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
recall. This band, the Stanton Anderson Band, is well known in this part of the world for the incredible writings with some of these great tunes that you guys are going to be performing tonight. I want to spend a minute with you and talk about how you come about writing some of these great tunes.
Well, going back a little bit, when we first started out, like, it was about getting out there and and playing a couple of gigs, and you just learned songs that you liked and did the music that you liked, and a lot of it was blues oriented that we did. It was the songs that we were playing out, and after a while, your conception starts to change a little bit about what you want to do with it, and how you want to approach the music. You start to get better. You start to get, the gigs get better, and you start working with different musicians, and so your your approach to it changes. And I think that's what happened to us. We started out playing cover music, and but we always put a little twist on it, like anybody does when when they want to make it a little different.
Make it your own a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
And I think the writing developed from that. Nobody was a real prolific writer in the band, but everybody kind of contributed. It got to be where rehearsal wasn't about what song are we learning today. Somebody would come in and would go, hey, I got an idea, or I got a lick, or I got a hook or something, and it would just develop into a song, and And we started writing and started seriously thinking about it, like, hey, where do we want to go with this? And, how do we want to keep it going? Instead of, just doing it for fun, or you want to do it, take a little more serious approach about it,
Well, that's more serious approach. That's still fun, too, am I right?
Absolutely.
I would certainly hope so. When it stops becoming fun, who wants to do it?
That's right.
One thing I want to talk about, an old writing partner of yours in the early days for this band, down in Florida, if I'm not mistaken, a fellow named Joe Pisciotta.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
An original writing partner for you with this project?
Yeah, I wrote with Joe for years. He came into the band. That's another whole long story how Joe came into the band, but he played guitar with the band for many years and brought a lot of writing talent to the band. Joe was a very good writer, and he and I wrote a lot of stuff together, and we wrote stuff after Stanton, and some of those songs we brought to Stanton after Stanton really wasn't together anymore, and Stanton started doing some of those songs, which was I was honored by that, to be honest with you, that they thought those songs were cool enough to do,
This band formed, as we mentioned, in the early 70s. Somewhere around the mid-80s, is it safe to say? That's when the band took a little bit of a hiatus?
Yeah, we took off for about 17 years.
A little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, right.
People started families, careers, different
Yeah.
directions with their lives.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
But all these guys continued to be musicians.
Everybody played. Everybody,
Yourself included, of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You kept writing with Joe Pisciotta after this band took a break.
I wrote with Joe for many years, after that, yeah.
All right, very nice,
Yeah.
very nice. We're going to pick up where we left off shortly. I say we put you people back to work.
You got it, man.
Let's do another one. What are we doing next?
We're going to do something I wrote for my wife, man. This is called Love Thing.
Well, before you play it, let me say this. Once again on the Long Island Blues Warehouse, we are going to keep it moving with the Stanton Anderson Band.
There's a little country house down a country road, country garden full of country soul. Country girl waiting out for me. Got to get on home tonight, baby, see what I can see. I've been out all night, highway girl, I've been driving all night. my baby. Yeah, the road's getting dark, getting long. Lighting up the cigarette, girl, I turn that radio on. Coffee's getting cold, my engine's running high, and I've got to get on home tonight. Now see just what I got. I've been out on that highway, girl, working all night. Got to get home to see my baby. 'Cause baby, you and me got such a love thing. Baby, you and me got such a love thing. Sean. Country house down a country road. Little country garden, baby, full of country soul. Country girl, waiting up on me. Got to get on home tonight, baby, see what I can see. I've been out on that highway, girl, been driving all night. Got to get home to see my baby. Get you, 'cause baby,
This is Joe Legato from Port Jeff, Long Island, and you're listening to the Long Island Blues Warehouse.
when the world is closing in on you and the shadows start to fall. You laugh this cat and town, ain't nobody telling the truth. Toss and turn your dreams, and nobody is just scream when the darkness turns to deepest night and the morning never comes. You look for comfort, all the eyes you see are blind. You reach out to hold to someone you don't wanna go alone. Lord, I'm gonna be there. I'll be by your side. Swear I'm gonna be there. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. Don't get beneath the heathen rain, the water's falling all around. Kneeling in the cave, breaking down on the river road. You no longer believe in the power of prayer. When the darkness turns to deepest night, oh, the morning never comes. Comfort, all the eyes you see are blind. Yeah, you reach out to hold to someone you don't wanna go. Well, I'll be there. Be by your side. Swear I'm gonna be there. Swear I'm gonna be there. I'll be by your side. Yeah, I'm gonna be there, girl. Don't get scared.
This week's featured artist, the Stanton Anderson Band. Nicely done, Mark. Mark Fowler, front man, lead vocals. No harp on that one, huh?
No.
That's all right. I'll tell you what, these camera guys missed the big jump you did, I'm sorry to say.
What
They were zoomed in on Rick Selecchio there on the guitar solo. You did a
only-
nice jump in the air, and then nobody got it.
They only get one a night.
No, we need to do that again. We need to do it again.
Oh, man, too much.
One thing I want to share with this band is to let you know one of the most requested things I get on my show is a 1980 recording, an LIR recording you guys did at Rum Bottoms, Knocking on Heaven's Door. It's the biggest requested thing I get. I've got about 8 or 9 versions of that song, but it's the best version, bar none, and that's the biggest requested thing I get.
Yeah.
Once every 6 to 8 weeks, I got to play it.
Well, you know, we were actually playing out in the Hamptons when we kind of remember this story because Ricky came out and he said, I just heard Dylan's Heaven's Door on the radio. He said, we should do something with that. And so we just started messing around with it at soundcheck one night, and it just kind of, developed and took off into this whole thing. And it's just, it's just one of those Stanton songs that has developed.
It's like a signature piece. It's a signature cover that you guys made your own, like you do everything else you guys do.
Well, that's what we try to do with the stuff. It doesn't always work out that way.
Well, I'll tell you what, everything that we've seen, it's so far so good, my man.
Thank you.
You guys are still early in your career, so I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're still young. We're still young.
Still going strong. Glad to see it.
Hair and makeup goes a long way, let me tell you.
A big question requested a lot on this show. I get a lot of young musicians, up-and-comers, singer-songwriters that always get a kick out of hearing each band every week, how the thought process works for writing tunes. We touched on it a little bit before. Let's talk about now that you've more experience. We talked about in your early days when the first thing you did was you just wanted to play covers, then you started writing a few tunes. Now you've got a few decades under your belt of experience with writing songs. Are you one of those guys, Mark, that can say on a Sunday night, I'm going to sit down Wednesday with a few guys and maybe write a few tunes? Or are you a guy that gets influenced driving in the car, you wake up with a thought on your mind or something the kids did at the table? How does it work for you? It's different for everybody. How does it work for you?
I really don't know. It's a crazy question because it works different for everybody. And, I've written with a lot of different people because I am not a singular solo type songwriter. I've always been a collaborator with people. I've written with different people in this band, Ricky and Tommy Banks, who was in the band earlier, and Joe Pashota. I've written with Scott Ross and, Mike Nugent, who was in the band for a while. I wrote a bunch of stuff with him. I've always been more of a collaborative type songwriter. I'll just come up with an idea and bring it to somebody else and say,
Start building around it.
Yeah, and, what can we do with this? Or can we do anything with this kind of thing?
Do you guys ever work on something new, get frustrated, put it on the shelf for a time, come back to it later?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've actually we dip back into the archives quite a bit. We've been doing it a lot lately. We'll go back and rediscover songs that we did, so many years ago, and we go, wow, do you remember doing that? And somebody will go, yeah, or no, I don't remember doing that, but and then we pull it out. And somebody has some weird, version of it somewhere on some, cassette tape or something, and we listen to it. We go, wow, and then Tommy will start messing with it, or somebody will come up with a different idea for it, and we brought a bunch of songs back, that way, by rediscovering them,
Very nice, very nice. Here on Long Island, you guys are notorious for the original songwriting, the very unique stylings and the sounds that come out of you boys and girls. Let's talk about some gigs in this neck of the world.
Yeah.
You guys, I've mentioned earlier that you've done some openers at Madison Square Garden. You've done a few at Westbury Music Fair. You also do the Nutty Irishmans and some of the bigger rooms around the island. Share with everybody the website so people can follow this amazing ensemble of musicians.
StantonAndersonBand.com.
Now the people have grabbed a pen. They want to write that down one more time, please.
StantonAndersonBand.com.
It's no thought in the beginning?
No, well, it
I
comes
don't
up
know.
that way anyway. www.
All right. StantonAndersonBand.com.
Yes, sir.
And if you go there, you have a list of, you keep it updated on a regular basis?
It's pretty much updated what gigs are coming up, and there's information on there. There's old articles, pictures, new articles, new pictures. We try to keep it kind of current.
I think you have a few audio clips of the last time you did this show with me a year and a half ago.
Yeah, there's some stuff
Good
on
stuff
there like
up
that.
there.
Yeah.
And we look forward to this video coming out and people seeing
Yeah, this is great.
what
We
you
really
guys
appreciate
are doing.
it.
The
Really
world
appreciate it.
headquarters.
Thank Ralph and the guys for doing this with us tonight. Thank you all, guys.
EKO Studios here in Deer Park, New York.
Absolutely.
The official studio of the Blues Warehouse. And we're glad to have this week's featured artist, the Stanton Anderson Band, hanging out, doing a massive contribution to what we do on this show and the Long Island circuit. So we thank you in advance for that, Mark Fowler.
Our pleasure.
What are we doing next, my man?
Let's do a little something called Run and Scare. What y'all say?
Blues Warehouse, let's do it.
When I looked out my window, the heat was all around there playing the scene. Must have told them everything, baby. Must have told them all about you and me. Could you promise to treat you fairly? Every day hit me when I'm born. Why did you do that? We were too close and now it's all gone. You think you got me running scared? You think you got me running scared? You think you got me? But baby, look out. Baby, look out. Maybe pulled that job in Tulsa. $3,500 deal. Lived it up all the way to New Orleans. You won't shotgun me at the wheel, yeah. Got a hellhound on my trail. Ain't gonna catch us this time around. I didn't think that you'd leave me stranded. When the game got tough, maybe you walked down. Walked down. You think you got me running scared? You think you got me running scared? Baby, look out, man. But baby, look out. Baby, look out. Look out. Good job, baby. Look out! Look out, baby! Run, 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 run! Run, 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 run. Man, I'm down in Tulsa. You ain't got behind no more. Don't you worry about nothing, baby. I'm breaking you out after dark. Ain't gonna be the same way. No, like it's been. Can't wait to see. Got a look on your face. Breaking you out, I'm gonna do it. I'll do it. look out. Baby, look out. No, 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 no. Think you got me running scared. You think you got me running scared. Baby, you got me. But baby, look out. Baby, look out. Baby, look out. Baby, look out. Baby, look out.
Oh, yeah. We mentioned earlier some of these great openers you guys have done over the years. The Allman Brothers, Marshall Tucker, Eddie Money, just to name a few. Do you guys travel much, by the way? Or have you guys done a lot of traveling over the years?
Yeah, we got ourselves to Deer Park tonight.
Yes, you have.
That was pretty far.
All right.
You know, no, we don't.
Let's talk about the earlier days. Let's talk about the first stint with this band.
Well, you know, when we actually got rolling, you know, we were doing.
You don't live that far from Westbury Music Fair and Nassau Coliseum, for that matter.
No, I know it's short trips, but we're not getting many gigs there either. So
anymore. All right, well that'll change, I'm sure.
We, you know, when we were back in the day, weird expression, back in the day, you know, we were going to Connecticut and Jersey and Massachusetts, and that's hard to say right now because I'm dry. Massachusetts, we used to go up there and play a lot. You know, we did that whole kind of northeast circuit a little bit, and but you know, home was always Long Island, so we played a lot here, and you know, branched out a little bit, you know.
Now, when you started this project in the early 70s, many bands on the island that you and I are very familiar with, 4, 5, 6-piece bands. Did you decide back in the early days when this project got underway that you were going to do a big piece band?
Well, it actually started out as, you know, 2 guitars, bass, drums, keyboards.
It started that way.
You know, that's how we kind of wanted it. The horns actually, Pete Tersey, the trumpet player, he started coming down to see the band, and he was listening to some of the music, and he came to me one night up at Tui's, where we used to play on Sunday nights, which was kind of our home base, you know. And
what town was that again?
That was up in East Setauket.
East Setauket,
yeah,
sure,
up
sure.
on the North Shore. It was great. We used to have a great time there. Hey to all the Tui's people. And but he came up to me one night and says, you know, I wrote a couple of horn charts for you guys. I said, oh, yeah. He said, yeah, I got a horn section. I said, I'd love to play some of these horn, you know, things that I wrote, you know, that fit some of our music that he wrote. And he said, sure. And, well, they're here tonight, you know. They are as much a part of this band as the rest of us, you know.
Absolutely.
They
absolutely
contribute a whole lot. So once he did that, it was like, okay, you're in. You know, all right. Okay, you're in. Do I have to pay you? You know, come on.
Check's in the mail. The check is in the mail. Let's talk about some of those old rooms you guys started in that don't, some of those popular clubs in the early days that don't exist anymore. My Father's Place.
Yeah, right.
You guys were big with that room, correct?
Yeah, we played there quite a few times. We opened up for a bunch of people there. You know, we started out opening up for people, and then, you know, we kind of got our own shows, you know.
And became later the headliner.
Yeah.
Down the road. You paid your dues.
Yeah, we did.
You paid your dues. You still might be paying those dues a little bit today.
I think everybody does, man. I don't think anybody escapes from that, you know.
But you're getting out there enjoying what you're doing. That's the main
Absolutely,
thing.
that's why we do it.
And it shows every time you guys take the stage.
Yeah.
Whether you guys play in front of a few people or a few thousand people, you guys are always one of those bands that puts 110% in.
If you don't, then why are you there?
Big time, big time. Let's some of those other rooms, Long Beach. What were some of those clubs in Long Beach that you guys used
the
to?
old Speaks was down there. And,
Malibu's.
Oh God, Malibu, and I don't, you know.
It's a bit of a little Stanton history from the early days.
Put a list.
Hammerheads.
Put a list on your Long Island Blues website there.
Chaucer's Ale House. I heard Mr. Luby say.
Yeah, Chaucer's Ale House.
Cheers. You guys played Cheers?
Oh God, yeah, man.
Rum Bottoms, of course, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
These clubs don't exist anymore. Why? These were great rooms.
Well, you know what
That's
happened?
another story for- yeah, I have an
that's
idea.
another long story, man.
Another story for another time. That's all right. That's all right.
Yep.
We're going to push it again the second hour a couple of times. I want to, people that are tuning in late, first of all, shame on you. Secondly, the website, again, so people can check out what we're doing in here tonight.
Yep.
StantonAnderson.com.
StantonAndersonBand.com.
StantonAndersonBand.com. StantonAndersonBand. StantonAndersonBand.com. Check them out. See what the website looks like. They got some great videos, some great audio, pictures of the old days.
Yeah.
You got.
pictures of the days. Yep.
You were supporting some longer hair back in those days
Yeah. Yeah.
with one of those Andy Cap type caps, if I'm not mistaken.
No, stop.
You had one. You had one. I've seen a few pictures.
Stop it.
We all go through that phase. We all go through that phase. We got time for two more. I say we jump into another one. Then we'll after we do the next tune, I want to give a mention on who's standing on the stage. We got to give props for who's on the stage doing what they're doing tonight. What do we do next, Mr. Fowler?
We're going to do something that Rick and I wrote together many years ago. This is called Something Missing.
Once again on the Long Island Blues Warehouse, we are going to keep it moving with this week's featured artist. It's the Stanton Anderson Band.
There's a rumor going around this time. Seems you got plans about putting me down. Give me one good reason why we kept on this way. It seems we made some kind of mistake. Something missing. Something missing. I heard you've been running all over the bloody town, trying to run my good man down. Give me one good reason
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, the Stanton Anderson Band. Nicely done, Mark. Mark, I want these camera guys to follow you around the room as you share with everybody who's on the stage with us tonight.
Please. Bobby Simmons on the keys over in and the vocals.
Good to see you, Bobby.
See you. Mr. Tom Pecoraro on the guitars.
Tom Peck, good to see you.
Linda Mackley on the drums.
Hello again, Linda. Looking good, kid.
All right, baby. Mr. Larry Louvie on the bass and the vocals here.
Thank you.
Rick Selecchio on the guitars. The Skid Row horns led by Mr. Pete Tercey on the trumpet. Mr. Mike Guido back on there on the saxes. And look at that, Grace Tercey on the saxes. Mr. Ian Platt on the saxes.
I'm going to say this last one if I can. Mr. Mark Fowler, front man, vocals, harp. Nicely done, Mark Fowler. Thank you so much for being a part of this with us. We always appreciate what you guys do. The website, again, the StantonAndersonBand.com. Check them out. This is EKO Studios in Deer Park, New York. Check them out at EKOProductions.com, the official studio of the Long Island Blues Warehouse. For those of you listening online, we got another hour of this band coming up shortly. For those of you guys watching through the video screen, this is it. This is our last tune video. What are we going to finish up with, Mark?
Talking about the writing again, one of the earlier guys in the band, a guy named, excuse me, one of the guys named Tommy Banks, who was one of the guitar players in the band. He wrote this song. It's called Annabelle Lake.
Mark, thank you so much. One more time, hour one. This is the Stanton Anderson Band.
Lord, it's many, many years ago in the kingdom out of sea. Oh, and many they lived to you men know by the name Annabelle. Oh, this lady she lived with no other thought than to love her, to be loved by me. I will always remember Annabelle. Broke us in high school and we grew up too fast, chasing after yesterday's dream. And the angels hanging out on the streets, everybody knows they're the last ones to go. So I turned up my collar, pulled down my hat, and I left those memories safely behind. And you took my life from me, crashing those parties on a soft summer night, burning when the fever was high, and watching her dance in the sand with a lover smiling, her eyes open wide. Well, I knew in a moment I'd be down on my knees, praying for the key to her heart. Annalie, you stood my life for me. I'll get back to you. I stepped in the back, she said, "Love, city school was on fire." Love-ski-eyed Madonna in a backseat row. All the scars from the poor man who acts too much, and the rich one who just doesn't see. I will always remember Annabelle. Yeah, that's why I've been lost every night. Can't seem to find my way home in a world that could only destroy someone, you know. I don't want to live on my own. She's some new kind of friend.